In case you didn't know, the first unit meeting of the local Civil Air Patrol will be held Tuesday, May 25th at the Plains Airport Pilots Lounge. The Civil Air Patrol is the civilian arm of the U.S. Air Force. Youth ages 12 to 18 can join as cadets and receive training in many aspects of aeronautics, search and rescue, and survival. For sign-up information, call Chuck Lynch at 396-7856.
Well, that about does it for this week's episode of your only source of local televised news, the Broken News. But before we go, we'd like to remind you of the primary elections for Sanders County right around the corner.
And the Sanders County Conservatives have sponsored another candidate event, this time with a little better turnout of candidates.
We'd like to close out the show with footage from this event in the hopes that you can learn a little bit more about the candidates who were there.
In attendance were sheriff candidates Tom Rummel and Doug Dryden, and coroner candidates Wayne Egbert and Kathy Harris. Here's a little snippet. Enjoy. And stay classy, Sanders County. I have this new thing for my pen.
Ooh.
You like that? It's better than throwing it.
I would like to introduce our media people that are here. And if you can stand, I really want to say we appreciate you for being here. Danielle is here. Does a wonderful job. I believe I saw someone coming in earlier. Well, I can't find him now. And then I really wanted to say thank you to Justin and to Cody Best from the Broken News, which is our local PBS station out of Thompson Falls. And if you want to see a lot that's been going on, go to YouTube and look for the Broken News or K36BW, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that will give you, from the previous form, you will be able to see some clips from there and some of the questions and things that are already on YouTube.
My name is Wayne Egbert. My wife and I bought the funeral home here in Plains, Thompson Falls, about 3 years ago. I've been in the funeral business for 28, going on 29 years now. I have been a former deputy coroner. We raised 3 girls, all of which are, one lives in Kalispell, the other 2 live back in Washington State. 6 grandkids, well, 6.5 grandkids. The reason that running for coroner is having been in the system in the past, and having been in big cities and seen how things are done, so to speak. Coming to a small town and having worked in several small towns, I guess the main reason is to make it more efficient and make it more people-oriented. And by that I mean a coroner going into a home with a little bit of feeling in class, with the families not feeling here's the marshal coming after you to accuse me of anything or anything like that. But just to add comfort to it rather than being a difficult fight, rather than making it more difficult. We'll get into, I'm sure as the time goes through here, what those duties and offices, those duties and responsibilities are. I don't really like talking about myself too much. I've been married 30 years. We just did our 30th anniversary. That's all I know about myself.
I would like to take a moment and introduce Kathy Harris, who is joining us. Yes, to the candidates have come. Kathy have a few minutes to introduce herself. All right, we'll go like that.
Okay, I apologize for being late. We had another schedule conflict, and I was able to get by. I didn't come to this, so if you'll excuse me for being late, I apologize. Thank you.
Who reviews the coroner's decision and who is called in the event of a dispute?
Okay. Well, the coroner has the final say on the death certificate. A family can say that they don't agree with it, but in the long run, the coroner is the final word. I'm sorry.
Well, if there's a dispute.
If there's a dispute, usually from what I can tell and talking to past coroners and other other law enforcement, the coroner has the final word, and that's it.
Okay. What is your take on the situation on medical marijuana? I believe you're up first.
This is going to be interesting, folks. Sorting through this, I'm sure that Doug has the same information here. I'll throw this out to you. 2005, we had 107 active registered patients in the state of Montana. 2010, this year, we have 12,081. Sanders County has 55 caregivers, and we have 168 patients. Minors, I'm sure is the rest of yours list. How is this going to, how are they going to legislate laws to deal with this? What are the ramifications for our youth? We all remember what it was like when we were kids, where the straight down beer was, or dad kept his jug or a bottle of wine or something like that. Kids are going to know where that's kept, and are they going to miss just one portion of it? How's this going to, how are we as law enforcement officers, the impaired driving that we'll see as a result of it, how are we going to deal with that? And continue illegal use, as it spills over into more and more illegal use. I had the opportunity to go into most of the medical marijuana grows in our county here. And as Tom said, we are expecting, as you see, the exponential growth of medical marijuana. With the figures he just gave you, we suspect that we'll go from 12,000 to probably 20,000 in just a very, very short time. And the issues that Tom has brought up is right, and it's not an issue that you will escape for this reason. The only way that we have right now to tell if someone is impaired with that would be a blood draw. And so each and every one of you who's driving down the road and you're tired or something and a law enforcement officer pulls you over, I can see this thing getting to the point where all of us will have blood drawn from us if you're tired or if you're this, that, or whatever, because it's the only way to tell whether you're on that or on narcotic painkillers, which can also impair. So it's a difficult situation, and as I told you earlier, you folks, I don't know how many of you personally voted for it, but the people of Montana voted for that. And so therefore, my opinion is that as a elected or a law enforcement officer, as an agent for the sheriff, we are here to uphold what you, the people, have voted for. And at this moment, you voted to have medical marijuana legal. I suspect that because of the disasters that have gone on over the last 2 or 3 weeks with fire bombings and people being beat and otherwise around our state, if you've been watching the papers, it's been a pretty nasty month for that. That will force our legislature to revisit medical marijuana and perhaps, as the Attorney General has said, try to box in this law a little better than what we have it now. One thing I would like to say for our neighbors to the north, I don't know if you read the Missoulian, but I was at a meeting last week with the Attorney General and with the tribe and with Sheriff Arnold, and I'm very proud of the fact that the Salish Kootenai Nation came out and they are not allowing medical marijuana whatsoever on their reservation or for their tribal members. And I think that is an incredible stand of leadership from the tribe. And not only that, but the tribal chairman, when he finished with that, turned to the Attorney General and said to him, "The next thing I want to get rid of is narcotic painkillers. I see what it's doing to my people, and I can tell you as a narcotics detective here, that is our #1 problem going on in this county." And I think those people deserve a round of applause